Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Tuesday, April 21st, 2026. Let's take a look at the Forex economic calendar for today. So what do we have here? Very important data releases, this time only during the US session. Core retail sales and retail sales are scheduled for release at 2:30, and the pending home sales are scheduled for release at 4 o'clock. Mostly market participants expect an increase in retail sales from 0.6 to 1.4 and decrease in pending home sales from 1.8% to 0%. So those are the most important data releases. They have high impact on the market behavior. So without any further ado, let's switch to the charts straight on. We are looking at the euro dollar first. So the euro dollar reversed from 1.1850. As you can see, the technical support at 1.1744 was strong enough to provide a bounce higher. Nevertheless, the volatility is very limited. The local high here after the bounce is 1.1792. Momentum is barely positive, 53 points only. So overall structure here, as you can see, looks quite bullish. We retraced more than 61% of the last swing down. Nevertheless, there is still very important technical resistance that is waiting to be violated. 1.1832. And then eventually, in case of a further movement to the upside, the next target is 1.1929, obviously just ahead of the swing high from the January 2026. So for now, we're just waiting what will happen on the euro dollar. Looking good, support provided by the level, so it's okay. The same situation here is on the cable. 1.348182 was the level of the technical support. If we zoom out, you can see that this level has been tested many times, at least five times almost. Then there was a gap down, big movement to the upside, breakout, new swing high, and then we reversed lower towards the technical support, and then local level at 1.3543 provided the local resistance. So right now 50.92, definitely neutral situation here on the British pound. Not much to see here. Expect the movement to the downside. Eventually, any breakout below the support in case of the cable and in case of the euro dollar will be considered bearish. Right, so for now it's still looking bullish. US dollar versus the Japanese yen doesn't do anything, just in the middle of the range. Look at this, just in the middle of the range. Let me just take a look if we can move this range a little bit further. If we can just grab this, there you go, so we can move it further, and this situation here doesn't change at all. If we take a look from the bigger perspective, from a daily time frame chart, you can see that there is some kind of a strength in the background. Correction, strength. Now the question is whether this is the partial distribution or this is something more than this. Momentum on a daily doesn't actually look impressive. Up and down. It looks, this kind of a momentum price action looks like the market is distributing US dollar versus the Japanese yen, because there is a strength in the background, right? Otherwise it will be accumulating. Nevertheless, all of the lows, if you take a look of all of the local lows, take a look closely here. All of the local lows are being bought back up, right? So the situation is not that clear on the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. Need to be monitored closely in the future. Gold market doesn't actually do much these days. Local movements above 4,800 towards 4,900 were capped beautifully, and the market went down back down, as you can see, towards the middle of the range. Nevertheless, the bulls are trying to move higher with the momentum of 48, 49 points, and the momentum was again neutral on Tuesday, so not much can be done here with this kind of a momentum, right? So not really some sort of the very big momentum wise strong price action here is being cleared on the gold. It more looks like this bounce has been capped at around this area, right? This bounce from this lows from 4,098, so 4,100 has been bounced a little bit here, and now the bulls, they don't know what to do next, right? They're trying to break out of this range, but so far no avail. SP500 new all-time high 7,147 into extremely overbought conditions. The best way to see how impulsive this movement to the upside is from the lows of 6,300 is this chart. So you can clearly see almost all green candles, 1, 2, 3 candles since the lows of the last day of March 2026, all April on a daily time frame chart. This 22nd, only 3 days were down, red candles, and the rest of the days were green. New all-time high 7,147. Extremely overbought conditions. Very big strong movement from the extremely oversold conditions to extremely overbought conditions. So this market keeps moving higher, so the risk is on, and as you can see, it looks like the bulls don't want to stop. All of these levels here, you know exactly what these levels are because they were almost always on our chart, now are acting as technical support. Crude oil going lower, and there is no indication that this so far this oil, this commodity should be going higher. You can see some sort of the technical line here, maybe some kind of a trend line. Nevertheless, please notice that in the due to the geopolitical situation, any kind of a technical analysis might be blown very quickly because of the geopolitical situation generally. If something happens in the Middle East, if something happens in Iran, Lebanon, and so on, then the situation can reverse immediately, right? Like we've seen it so many times before. Nevertheless, it's worth to have to keep an eye on the key levels. Nevertheless, but the overall situation doesn't actually looks too complicated, right? We established something which might be called like a kind of a double top. We broke below the trend line. We keep moving lower, and the recent low was 80.55 into the extremely oversold conditions, and it looks like the market doesn't actually want to move higher for now. 91.17 was the local high, but it was rejected by the best. There is a technical resistance. So very susceptible, very violent market if there is something going on from the different point of view than technical analysis, like a geopolitical situation or macro situation or political situation. But otherwise, it's trading like in very limited range right now. And last but not least, the Bitcoin, very nice bounce from the demand zone here, located between 73,000 and 73,000 is like $500 area. Bounce in the momentum towards the level of 60. Nevertheless, we need to move higher, back above the 76,000 is needed. Back out 77,000 is needed. Local high, as you can see, last time was established roughly around this level here, 78,333. This is the local technical resistance. So we will mark it like a in a red. Obviously, next target still at the level of 80,000, just roughly above this this level of 80,000. So that didn't happen, and you can see the classical way of push to the upside, pull back, push to the upside, pull back, push to the upside, pull back, push to the upside, pull back. As long as the consecutive series of the higher highs and higher lows is still intact, the situation is more bullish than bearish. If we take a look at the daily time frame chart, you can see that this situation here is not impulsive at all. This is, for example, the impulsive situation. This is the impulsive cycle to the downside. This looks more like who has the power right now, by the way. So the bulls and bears are still fighting. Nevertheless, if you take a look here, you can see that previously we got something which is called like a bearish flag or bearish pennant, right? So the highs here, you can see the bearish pennant. Now there was a pole here, and you can do the bearish pennant. For now, it doesn't actually looks that much clear as it used to anymore, right? So this even, for example, that this might be the pennant, but this, the time that price spent inside of this flag pattern, right? Because the pole would be in that situation here, right? So from the swing high to the swing low, there you go. This is the pole, and you might have the flag pattern or F pattern, bearish F pattern, or whatever you want to call it. The amount of time we spent here and here is completely different, right? So please consider this situation as some sort of the attempt for the bulls to establish the more power and control over the Bitcoin price. The higher they go, especially if they break above 80,000, and then this level here, 83,000, 84,000, more bullish it looks. This is already 90,000. This is 97,925, right? So it's very, very close to 100,000. It looks like a bearish pattern, bearish flag, for example, but too much time is Bitcoin is spending here. We just hit on the daily time frame chart extremely overbought conditions. Now we are doing the pullback on the Bitcoin, and then we will see what will happen. Eventually, there might be some kind of an obstacle from the point of view of the technical analysis around the level of 80,000. Nevertheless, it's still, Bitcoin still looks bullish as long as all of the other markets like SP500, Nasdaq, Dow Jones are going up. They look bullish, and the dollar doesn't actually do much these days. It's trading in range or something like this. The outlook for the Bitcoin to go higher is way, way, way bigger. That's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. So take care and bye bye.